Hello and welcome to Sporting Gibberish. I'm Stu Booth.
And I'm Jack Luffman.
Just for the people at home that can see us, look there, we've got our own little Sporting Gibberish sound in the background, along with some festive cushions.
Some festive joy.
Yes, I'm not quite sure about the lime green one. If you look over my shoulder, there's one somewhere behind Jack's vast head. Hey, you notice I got that in again the other day.
That's just killing me. Absolutely killing me.
It's like my favourite word. Right, on with today's show. What we're going to be talking about, we're talking football, Premier League, Arabian Gulf League. We're going to do a little bit of coverage about the Champions League, and murmurs are coming back again about this European Super League. Let's have a little bit of a chat about that. Formula One, been an interesting week with what happened
Unbelievable,
with Grosjean, and then obviously the news about Hamilton coming out as well. Good news again with football, with the potential. Well, we have had fans back as we record this, so that's great news. And then we've got the sports personality. We're gonna have a little bit of discussion about that.
I used to love that show. Can you remember watching it as a kid? It used to be like the start of Christmas for me.
See, I was never,
And they had the challenges and that, but now it's just a bit boring. But
And
anyway, we'll talk about the nominees.
I never really picked it up. Larko has recorded us a little Butte again, but we say Butte. I've not listened to it, neither has Jack.
So if this is the problem, we go blind in it. We just trust it. Anything could happen.
Yeah, I'm in jam.
And you got a bit of news about weekly and monthly winning for that, and also maybe a little bit about the cup competition.
Yes, about
the last night's
exciting
conversation.
Yes, exciting potential cup draw. But we are going to start with Jack. Fact or fiction?
This is my fact or fiction. Come on, I'm going for this. So I thought I'd link it in to what we talked about last week in sporting superstition. So these are 3 world-class athletes. Okay, I'm going to tell you what their superstition is.
My goodness, Jack, have you had some time off work?
Right. Yeah, this morning at the pool. And actually, to be fair, Stubbsy helped me out with one who sort of started this. Not Alan Stubbs, Carl Stubbs. Right. Higher profile than Alan.
Right, okay.
Certainly not as bent a nose. And loves a glass of wine on a Friday night, by all accounts. Anyway, so 3 sports. So first one, it's your favourite sport, cricket. Steve Smith, former Australian captain.
Yes.
We won't go into why he lost the captaincy. But anyway, so he has a superstition that when he looks down, when he's batting, he's got all his clobber on, pads and everything. He doesn't want to see his shoelaces or his bootlaces. So what he does is he tapes them to the footy socks that he wears underneath his whites. So he ties his laces up, then tapes them to his footy socks so that when he's at the batting crease, he can't see his laces. Fact or fiction? That is his superstition.
It's going to be something obscure. There's going to be minute details going to be slightly different in this. But I'm going to go fact, because Jack loves a fact.
Yeah, I do like a fact. That is fact. Factually correct. And along with that, he does lots of little touches and along the way to get himself ready. So
it's almost like he's got some type of
like OCD kind of thing, yeah. So fact one there. Right, number 2, Serena Williams, greatest ever female tennis player.
Ooh, that's a big shout.
Do you not think? Who's better?
What was the German called? Steffi Graf?
Steffi Graf. Graf or Williams? Who are you going for?
Graf.
In more ways than one.
Neither way. You would leave both of them out.
Anyway, so Serena Williams, successful. When she is successful though, what she does, all that glamour, she's a glamour girl, isn't she, on the tennis, and has worn all these weird and wonderful outfits. When she gets on a run in a tournament though, she never changes her socks. So she wears the same pair of socks from round 1 until she's knocked out or until she wins the thing.
Alright, so that competition.
Yeah, same pair of socks. Which when you think about it, most tournaments in her career she's won. That's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're not saying, what you're saying, she doesn't wash them?
Doesn't wash them, no. Unwashed, same pair of socks, unwashed.
Fact.
Oh, it is fact, yeah? It is fact. Disgusting that though, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, you want to be in the change rooms at the end.
Minging. It's almost as bad as a lad who I once played cricket with who never washed his jockstrap. He'd been playing cricket for 28 years.
Well, football bags are just as smelly. Lads will leave the stuff in there, forget around it, and then open the bag the week after, and you're like, ugh. I know a few lads that have, it's got that bad, they've thrown the underpants into the kit bag to see if they'll get washed, and hopefully they'll change a week after.
2-0. Anyway, fact. So number 3, Laura Trott, cyclist, Olympian.
Yes.
Yeah. She's not Trott now because she married a fellow cyclist. Can't think of his name. Jason somebody. But anyway, So when on her rise to fame in the European Junior Championship, she wetted or got both her socks wet. So there's a foot theme going through this. Not fetish. And she got both her socks wet for some bizarre reason. I went on and won the gold medal, and every race since she races with wet socks. Fact or fiction?
I'd say that Jack Luffman never throws a fiction in there. He loves fact after fact after fact. So I'm going to go with fiction.
It is fiction. She only wears one wet sock. She got one wet sock wet prior to the European Junior Championships, won. So every race since.
Same sock?
Sure, I don't know. Didn't actually get that far. But there we go. So interested superstitions there.
Forget
and
that.
You were correct with the Michael Jordan one as well last week. You said Betty Boy's old university show.
Oh, you read about it, didn't you?
Yeah, it came up on it, yeah.
I tell you what, unbelievable clean sweep.
3-0.
3-0. Right. Sporting week. So,
yeah.
Luffers, was it the quarterfinals for you guys?
Quarterfinals, yeah.
Quarterfinals.
Yeah. Won
Won
to semis next week. She's got a weekend off this week.
You're not suspended, are you?
No, I'm alright. I got over a little lab dab.
Tell us more, Jack.
Well, it was I have to say, the time we played with the worst team I've played against since I've been in Dubai. They were terrible. And I don't know about you, when you get a bit old, a bit long in the tooth, when we were fielding, I just had there's no adrenaline pumping because it was just so easy. And I remember saying to Clint, this is like, I'm bored. I was a bit bored. Anyway, did a job on them, so they bowled them out for, I think they were 130 for 9, so decent effort. So went out there, hit a couple of boundaries early on, and then got quite possibly one of the worst LBW decisions I've ever come across. And I've had some bad ones in my life, but that was pretty ordinary. Pitched outside leg stump, wouldn't have hit another set. I wasn't very happy. I was a bit concerned the previous ball I faced from that end. It wasn't the exact ball before I was out, but I had got a little inside edge onto my pad and just got a single, and the umpire was signalling leg by. I said, I've hit that ump. Not that it really matters, but I've hit that ump. No, I said, no, I definitely hit it. He said, yeah, but it hit your pad first, so it's a leg by. So I was a little bit concerned at that point. So I'm going to blame myself. Rather than the umpire, it was a terrible decision. I'm going to blame myself for letting the ball hit my pad because I should have sensed it. But anyway, not all about me, is it? It's about the team.
No, it's all about you. That's why you put this sequence into our sporting week.
Yeah,
it's all about...
So we won, and we're through to the semi-final.
And how many did you score?
9.
I thought you told me 10. You mean like?
Well, it should have been 10, but he didn't give me that run, did he?
Oh, so you've been counting that run?
Well, yeah, it should have been, but it was 9.
9.
Official statistics say 9.
9. So what's that put you on the average now? 8?
No, I'm still 5th in the league ladder. 300 and something runs, average 35.
But now you're in the Mickey Mouse Cup, you should really be putting some big scores on the board, shouldn't you?
Well, semi-final, big game player. How's your week been, Stu? You don't be playing, have you?
No, well, I ended up helping our third team out because our final game of the season has been postponed to the 9th of December.
Oh, next week. Oh,
because it's national holiday here, so people are listening from back in the UK. We have got a 3-day holiday, so basically all our bank holidays rolled into. So
we've got a 5-day week. So as teachers, just quietly, we've got 5 more days left next week, and then we break up. So it will come down to the fact that in December we would have worked 7 days in the month of December.
Wow, I never even thought about that, but yeah. So what happened was the league have rigged it, so it was always going to be first versus second for the last game of the season. So it was supposed to be Wednesday night, which would have been last night for us, should have been last game, but because it was National Day, we decided to postpone it. Then they talked about us playing potentially this Sunday coming, but now they've moved it until next Wednesday. So last night of school.
Big game.
Night. Yeah, so it is. It's winner takes all. You know, we can afford to draw, but never have I ever gone into any game thinking let's try and draw.
It's always dangerous, huh?
But yeah, as it stands. But yeah, I did have a run out with the other team. Should have, if I'm being really critical of myself, should have scored 3, if not 4. Scored 1. Should have had 4 or 5 assists, but only got 1 assist. So yes, attacking wise we were alright going forward. We just clinically not very good. Dead bizarrely did this lovely piece of skill, lovely step over, did the defender, hit this shot, dipped, hit the ball, went over. I thought, camera's out. that's going to look good. End of the game, to be fair, one of their lads had done exactly similar to what I did, but his had dipped and gone in off the bar, went in. And at the end of the game, I just heard this guy go, I can't wait to see this, my replay might go. And I'm thinking in my head going, I can't wait to see my effort, see how, because in my head it went really fast. Probably slow as anything. And the guy went, yeah, camera wasn't working.
Oh no.
So we're like,
never mind.
But that means the result never counted. Cool. The camera wasn't there.
So this time next week we'll know whether you've won or not.
Yes.
And you're leading the goal scorers in that league, aren't you?
I'm three ahead of second place, which is happened to be our centre forward.
Oh right, well don't pass to him then.
Yeah.
But no, it's about
it's a team sport, Jack. It's about the result.
So you will know whether you'll be happy or sad on the next Thursday.
Yeah, it could be double bubble.
And then we play Friday, actually next Friday.
So you don't have anything, so yours will be the prelude into the game.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
So
but yeah, decent. It's just nice to be back playing regularly. I know we've been doing it and we're probably lucky compared to a lot of our comrades in the UK who had cricket season was a bit truncated and not like it would have been, and the footballers, the level you played at, I've noticed actually like the sides in my area playing sort of below the national north and south. So Boston United are playing, but the leagues below that, a lot of the sides have stopped playing there in Tier 3, and I'm a bit concerned about some of those sides in terms of their future.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, the funny thing is I had a look at the league the other day, and Isle of Man had joined the North West Counties.
I've never heard of that.
So really bizarre, their first season in the North West Counties, but yet their island is not like anybody in, and they're not allowed to leave, so they've not played any games. So they've joined the league, and like a handful of games got started. But yeah, they've literally just.
I noticed like Boston Town, Sleaford Town, Pinchbeck. Pinchbeck have opted to play Market D, all in the United Counties. So they've said, while we're in Tier 3, financially, logistically, ethically, they've said we're not going to play. So we're in time still. Yeah,
well, hopefully there's rumour in Dubai that 11-a-side might be starting back after Christmas. So if not, it'll be another 7-a-side comp, and I think that'll probably knock the season on the head after that. But
at least you're playing competitively.
Definitely with bated breath. But what is good news for the people out there in the UK, if you're in Tier 2 or lower, you're able to go and start watching some football again. 2,000 in on any ground. Socially distanced. I think they're encouraged to wear masks and things like that, obviously. And good. So it started last night. So Wednesday night, I think, with the first. So Luton, Charlton,
Carlisle, I think.
It's Carlisle. Which would be good. A, great to get fans back in. B, to help the lifeline of the club.
I saw this morning footage of Gareth Ainsworth at Wickham. So Wickham obviously won. And clapping the fans there, and it was actually, I think Jake Humphrey actually put it on his Twitter. It was actually quite emotional watching that, and he was always thanking them and all that. And so for a club like Wickham, and it's the same in all of them, they're punching above their weight to get to the Championship and are struggling, but as expected, I'd have thought they're very realist. But that influx of fans to home games just could make them a difference.
Definitely, just keep them alive a little bit longer. But I don't understand why they're limiting it to 2,000, because there's some grounds that will be near on like their capacity, and then you've got other grounds like Anfield that can hold 50 something thousand, and they're only allowed 2,000. I thought it would be like a percentage of your capacity, or maybe that's a case of in a couple of weeks that will start to open up.
Potentially, it's like North London Derby. Spurs are talking about how big that is. Okay, so about like the North London Derby on Sunday. So Spurs have 60,000 over the new ground, 2,000 fans in it.
Yeah, it's
bizarre.
Hopefully it'll loosen up a little bit, but maybe baby steps. Maybe we get a bit ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's get 2,000 in, make sure it's all works really well, and then hopefully the percentages will be relative to the ground size, because the clubs.
As good as it's going to be, and let's use the North London Derby as an example. As good as it's going to be, and the fans are excited. I can see on my social media stream the Tottenham fans and the season ticket holders have got their I'm in, blah blah, and obviously I think Kane's spoken of how great it'll be. They're going to sound like, I don't know, like a little the world's smallest violin in the Albert Hall.
I feel a bit sorry, because I know that the rule is at the moment is you're only allowed to go to the games if you're a season ticket holder, member of the club, and you live within vicinity of the ground. So Man United not even going to get 2,000 because they don't have anybody there. And then you've got the other ones at the other side. Man City are going to struggle to get 2,000 in.
Yeah, exactly. So, but basically, those grounds are going to be empty, aren't they?
Yeah. So, they're in Tier 3 at the moment. So maybe they can start to drum up a bit.
As I said, keep Ollie at the wheel.
Yeah, well, right. Well, we're going to move on to him in a second.
Are we? Good.
Yeah. So yeah, great to have fans back. Really good sign of and hopefully things to come that we'll then start to see a little bit of normality come back to life in England and the Premiership. But we're going to jump over. I'm going to come to Dubai now. I'm going to have a look at the Arabian Gulf League.
Yeah.
So a couple of days ago, they actually had some midweek games. So there's games on Monday and Tuesday night.
For the national day, I'm assuming.
Yeah, in preparation for the national day. So there was a particularly really big fixture, but we'll run through the results. Ajman lost to Al Wasl, which needed points for Al Wasl. Al Jazeera went to Fujairah and won 3-0, which I think moves them up to second. We'll have a look at League Table in a sec. Hatta lost to Khofrakan, which
They're
I think
struggling.
Hatta I think rock bottom again. But the biggest game on Monday, this week alone, was Sharjah against Shabab Al Ahly, and surprisingly, Shabab Al Ahly drew again.
Good point.
Yeah. So, but that's I think 2 draws in a row for Sharjah now.
Yeah, because we drew with them, didn't we?
Yeah. So maybe there's signs of things are happening. But Al Wada, who were up there, I think were third. You guys were second before this fixtures. Drew 1-0, which then gave you the opportunity. But you were away to Calbert and you drew 3-0.
Yeah.
But Benias back on terms now, and they won 4-1. So great result. I think two lads got 2 goals each for Benias in the game the other night. But yeah, current league table is Sharjah played 8, won 6, drawn 2 on 20 points. 3 points ahead of Al Jazeera and Al Nasser, which are just separated on, I can only describe as potentially maybe goals against, or maybe goals for. Yeah, maybe goals for, because goal difference is exactly the same. Al Ain, who lost, are in 4th. Al Wada dropped down to 5th. Shabab 6th. Benias now on the return up in 7th. And the only note is to mention Al Wasl in 9th. So at the moment, Benias.
It's quite tight that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So 11th to 3rd separated by 4th separated by 3 points.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hatta 1 point, Ajman 2, Fujairah 4, Khofrakan 5, and then it's a big jump then up to Al Dhafra. So yes, this week's fixtures. So this week's game week 9. Al Nassr at home to Fujairah, which you'd be thinking home win on the pools.
Home win. And for the next one,
Al Ain versus Ajman. Al Ain doing well, Ajman not so good. Sharjah versus Al Wasl. So everybody would be hoping that Al Wasl can produce something on the day. So will Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro.
But I think we're going to go with Sharjah win on that game. Shabab Al Ahly versus Al Dhafra, who are like the bottom of the next group.
Yeah.
So I'd expect Shabab maybe to pick up points there. Hatta, it doesn't get any easier. They've got Benias, who seem to have turned their fortunes round. So expecting nothing but a Benias win there. Al Jazeera versus Al Wada. I can see this one being a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that will obviously help Shabab and Al Nassr as well. And then Khofrakan versus Calder.
Draw. Score draw.
No, that just that sounds like a bit like a Brighton versus Burnley game. Which you'd probably stay well clear of. But yes, as we are talking now, these games are Thursday and Friday. So when you listen to this, half of them would have been already played. But yes, good news on that. Right, we'll jump over to Premiership. Quick look at the results, and we'll do this week's predictions on the scores and any big games to look out for. But Palace 0, Newcastle 2.
2 late goals there.
Yeah, again it's like Newcastle set up and then pinch it on the pitch at the end. But Brighton Liverpool game that you see, I like to think of myself as a Liverpool fan that doesn't wear rose tinted glasses. And I've read too much rubbish about Liverpool being done by VAR. First one, it is a penalty. Nico Williams, it's a penalty. It's a bad penalty. Puts it wide. Liverpool score, no worries whatsoever. I thought at the time Salah was offside.
Yeah.
And then the line is like minute, but he is ahead, so no arguments. It's offside. Do I agree with the system in place? No, but he's offside, and offside is offside.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We mentioned it. I don't know how many times about daylight or a little bit of give.
But that's not the rule at the minute.
No, but the rule at the minute, he's off. He's off. Mane scores, great header, offside, no arguments whatsoever. And then it comes to this controversial thing of the penalty. Robertson kicks Danny Welbeck. right?
It's a penalty, isn't it?
So he's caught him, like regardless of what happens with the ball, and you can see that when it's played in fast motion, because it hits Robson and ends up going out. But what's happened as well, but it's just he's done it ever so cleverly, just a little nick as Robson goes to volley it away, and then he's kicked him. End of story. Yeah. So I don't get. There's no argument there. Right? Yes, VAR. He's gone and looked at it. It didn't take him very long.
No.
He literally walked up, looked at it once, and was like, "I don't need to see it again. It's a clear kick."
And to be fair, Robertson in the week, I think, has said, "I've kicked him and it's a penalty," but I think his point was he'd seen some in other games that weren't given. So he's asked consistency. Henderson's asked for it to be scrapped, VAR. Yeah. I think Klopp, I know he had a rant, and I don't think we need to go into that as necessarily, but I know he had a rant. But his actual rant wasn't about VAR decisions, his was more about the welfare of players, wasn't it? And timings of games, which we spoke about the other week, because again he brought it up, and I think he's got a fair point.
Yeah, oh definitely, and I think we discussed this a few times. But yeah, so a draw, it wasn't the worst case scenario, and with the way the results went this weekend, actually didn't really have that much of a negative effect on us. City, listening to Keys and Gray, and I think it was Keys was like, I could see Burnley maybe upsetting, and Gray's like, do you not remember 4-0 last year? He's like, oh no, something in my feeling. City 5, Burnley 0.
Yeah, shows how much Keys knows.
Non-entity game. Leeds, big result against Everton.
Yeah.
Good result for them.
I'll say though, I did say about Everton.
Yeah.
People getting all high and mighty about being here.
I think Everton had a great start, but I think they're going to go to just be one of them teams that will turn up every once in a while, and inconsistencies is going to get them.
I think I tweeted about it. When you're going in a game where he's got Davis, I can't think of his name, first name's not Davis, Tom Davis as one wing back, and Alex Iwobi's the other one. I don't think I've ever seen two players look out of position ever, and it sort of shows about its lack of depth, really.
Yeah, and the funny thing is they have depth in weird places, don't they? So if you look at the centre midfield and the calibre of centre midfielders, it's like ridiculous. So you've got Allen, Rodriguez, Sigurdsson,
Gomez
Davis. In there, Davis. You've got 5 players there. Decore. So you've got 6 players there that all play.
They've got quite a lot of central halves in decent as well. I mean, they're playing 3 at the minute. It's probably 2 more that can get in. But.
So we'll see what happens. Leeds still in the bottom half. I think they're 11th. I think still under 10th. Matthew Aldridge.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They were never going to finish top 6 like people thought.
Yeah. Sheffield United confined in more misery, losing 1-0 to West Brom. I did watch the Southampton game, and it was the old cliche game of 2 halves. Southampton were brilliant first half. United obviously ramped it up. Cavani's movement was tremendous.
Yeah, great finish. I saw two great finishes.
Yeah,
the second one in particular.
The thing is that United's front 3, when he wasn't on, Rashford looked kind of alright. Greenwood was in and out of it, but Cavani stays in the middle, but then darts 5-10 yards either side. He's continuously dragging the centre halves around. I just get the feeling that Martial, Rashford only come to life when they get the ball at their feet. There's not really a great deal of dragging people around. Let's go away to come back and receive it into feet. Cavani's all over the place. The guy just never stops running. Yeah. So good result. Kept Ollie at the wheel until maybe last night, but we'll discuss that in a minute. Chelsea 0, Spurs 0. I think in total was it 4 or 5 shots on target.
Cagey, I think you said. I don't think you watched. You said it looked like a game needed the team wanted to lose. I think you're dead right. I think Spurs' point of view obviously played a similar kind of game plan as to Man City the week before. We just probably weren't as clean. Well, we clearly weren't as clinical, or actually, let's be honest, as devastating on the break as we could have been. But I think, as I said to you before, and I think Jose would have taken a point before the game. I think any question.
I think the only action happened was when I was on the phone to you, wasn't it, in the 90th minute?
Yeah, from both ends, when Duro should have scored, and then Lo Celso, I don't know what he did.
No.
But anyway, point. We went into and finished the weekend at top. So
yeah,
with that.
Bad weekend for Arsenal, so you must be happy with that.
Yeah,
Wolves send them over. Arsenal just spluttering. Is Mikel Arteta not the person?
I still don't think they've signed the players. And they've probably been a bit lucky because the Partey, they reckon's a good player, don't they?
Yeah.
He's been injured, but I just don't think. And I don't think Aubameyang's one of these wide left players. I think he's a centre forward.
Yeah. So we'll keep with bated breath there, but Arteta must be feeling a little bit
under pressure a bit.
I think so. I think with the expectations of him coming in, Leicester what is going on there. They are so hit and miss.
Yeah.
Like challenging and looking really good 1 minute. Thoughts of them going to Anfield and maybe taking points off Liverpool. Didn't even get going in the game, and then you think the bounce back against
that fixture there was probably on paper for probably the one home win that I was going to absolutely guarantee.
Yeah. Nick Asher, what's going on? Talk to us. I've mentioned, I don't know how many times, Brendan Rodgers, bottler.
Oh yeah, you are. Bit bitter there for Liverpool fan.
Yeah, and to be fair, I met him, and what a nice fella.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he has that to get them to that next thing. Yeah. And a great result for West Ham, beating Aston Villa.
I reckon he's going to sign a new contract, I think.
Yeah, but the strange thing about that game was another stupid VAR decision where I can't even think what the centre forward's called. Ollie Watkins leans forward as he's trying to get through.
And he's actually being fouled.
Yeah, and because that lean forward, they've marked that as a line, and then suddenly he's been given offside and goal doesn't count.
Yeah.
But he did miss a penalty in that game, I believe.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
But yes, there were the results from last week. Moving on to this week, Saturday, 4 fixtures. I always get confused because we've got a time difference lap. Burnley Everton. May avoid that one. Man City Fulham.
City will touch them.
Yeah, that'll be a strange game. West Ham Man United could potentially be an interesting game.
Could potentially be on his last game at the wheel.
Possibly, but I think probably the best game on Saturday is Chelsea Leeds.
Yeah.
That looks a tasty little thing. Chelsea looks so good going forward. Last night, winning 4-0 Sevilla.
Yeah.
Giroud got all 4.
Yeah.
So does that not more tactically say?
Can you leave now? And of course, the first time they've met, Bielsa and Lampard have met in the Premier League after the Spygate from a couple of years back.
And then on Sunday we've got West Brom Crystal Palace.
Please won't work for that one.
Yeah, Sheffield United Leicester.
Sheffield United got to get a point, haven't they?
Well, I don't know. Could he potentially go through the season without winning again?
They could potentially. Not very good, are they?
No.
To be honest.
And then a little small fixture: Spurs versus Arsenal.
Yeah.
Which will be interesting. It's 8:30, so it's a decent time for you.
Decent. Yeah.
Bad time for me though. Liverpool versus Wolves at 11:15 at night. The problem is now is that I like to watch the Spurs game, but that would be my nap time. So I don't know, maybe nearly.
Power through. Last week it works, you. Power through.
Yeah, possibly. And then last game is Brighton versus Southampton. So I'd expect
the A3 derby or the M. I don't know, something like that.
Well, yeah, right. We will talk. Oh no, we'll leave fancy football.
Yeah.
We'll do everything that we like.
I'm just going to talk about the concussion substitutions.
Yes,
surely.
We'll go with that, and then we'll go European.
Surely. So on the back of the Jimenez and David Luiz clash on Sunday, which obviously Jimenez came off fractured skull. He's going to be wide for his back out. I completely agree with the majority of pundits out there saying, why football so far behind?
Yeah.
Cricket brought in the concussion substitutions on the back of Phil Hughes a few years back, unfortunately, one or two other instances after that. Obviously rugby have had it in for many a year. Football has to go that way, particularly as well on top of the discussion around the brain injuries from heading the football, and surely to goodness. So David Luiz is clearly not fit to carry on.
Yeah.
But yet carried on, and I think Terry Butcher's come out and Paul Ince have said that neither they shouldn't have carried on, but they're iconic images, aren't they, Butcher and Ince?
But my impression is that a concussion test is kind of happens on the side of the pitch, and they do some type of checks, but it's not enforced. I don't think like as a rule like they do in rugby, where they can say you've got to go off, and maybe that's what we need to think about, because I've witnessed it firsthand. My lad got concussed playing rugby, and then because of that wasn't allowed to do sport for 28 days, I think, on the back of it, and it was mega frustrating for him. But me as a parent, or everybody out there, because they belong to somebody's son, is that the last thing you want is them to take another hit in the head, and then really bad things happen then.
It's got to be player welfare. It's got to be at the top of the list, and you do see it, don't you? Of football, probably more than anything, and it's probably a macho thing that I'm okay to stay on, but
isn't that bizarre? Is it they go macho because it's football, but yet rugby,
I was about to say exactly the same.
They take more hits and they get hit harder, and they just accept it, and it's just ingrained into culture, which something needs to happen, because what we don't want to do is have somebody, unfortunately, that we've seen in the past die on the football pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Or suffer a long-term thing because they didn't come off. No harm in it. Concussion sub, you come on, and if he passes his test in the dressing room, just a straight replacement, and then the sub comes back off and can be used later in the game, just as they're doing in rugby.
Yeah.
Not a big issue, not a big change to make. I don't think there'd be any footballer or manager or administrator or chairman who would vote against it, surely.
No, surely not. So FA, it's usually the Sky that listen to us. So Sky, pop it on as an article, and then FA, you can pick it up.
Get on with it.
But yes, what we are going to do is, we've not touched Champions League really so far, but it is coming to a head. Actually, the wife was talking about this the other day. She was like, "You didn't stay up for the Liverpool game." I'm like, at the moment, Champions League is just kind of going through.
I think it's because it's so regular that it's not actually having that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like ticking over in the background. I'm like, well, I've no concerns. We're picking up the wins. We finished off of our group. Am I going to stay up to watch Midland or whatever they're called from Denmark next week? No chance. Absolutely not. A Scooby-Doo. But we thought we'd do a quick coverage. People that are a bit like me that can't be bothered staying up. But Group A, Bayern Munich, look, have walked it, and they're currently on 13 points with one game left. Interesting that it could be Atletico or FC Red Bull Salzburg that joins them. There is, I think, a potential that Lokomotiv could still qualify.
Yeah, because of the goal difference.
But
Madrid, Atletico Madrid will get.
Yeah, you think Atletico it's in their hands, isn't it? Group B, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Shakhtar, and Real Madrid, and Inter Milan potentially have still got all four potentially could qualify from that. But I don't know who's playing who in the last game. So if Inter play Borussia Mönchengladbach, then yes, they can still qualify. But if it's,
I think Inter play Shakhtar, don't know.
Or do they? So there is that possibility. But looking at Gladbach's,
I obviously want Madrid to, although they're in poor form, but from a Spurs point of view, the Europa League, obviously they fall. If you finish third, you fall back into it. So ideally, we could do with Real Madrid, Inter Milan finishing fourth because they're the reigning Europa League champions, and Madrid qualifying.
But that would be interesting, isn't it? The fact that you talk about Gladbach and Shakhtar, when that draw came out, they'd be literally.
Although they'd be the two you'd say would have finished third and fourth, but
Moving on to Group C, City qualified along with Porto. It'll just be a case of placements between them two, and Marseille and Olympiacos fighting out for that Europa one. Liverpool secured theirs with their win against Ajax a couple of nights ago, and they can be joined by either Atlanta or Ajax because they have to play each other.
Yeah.
So winner takes all in that fixture. Personally, I don't know. I'd like to see Ajax make it through.
Yeah, I'd rather, from a top point of view, I think Atalanta would be an easier task than Ajax potentially.
And then we go to Group E, which is Chelsea currently top after they beat Seville 4-0 last night. So them two are through, and it looks like Krasnodar are going to get the third place, whoever they are, above Rennes. Group F is Dortmund and Lazio have qualified. Dortmund have definitely qualified. Lazio potentially second place. Club Brugge could potentially sneak that second place. And Zenit St. Petersburg currently only on 1 point. Group G, Barcelona, Juventus absolutely walking it. I think they'll play for potentially who finishes first and second, but it looks like it's going to be Barca, then Juve, Dynamo Kiev, and somebody called FTC. Can you read it? Ferencvarosa?
Yeah, I'll do.
Ferencvarosa, 1 point with Dynamo Kiev. And the last group, Group H, which is the bizarrest thing and I heard this morning. United currently top on 9 points on goal difference. Paris Saint-Germain second on 9 points, and RB Leipzig on 9 points. Istanbul out, so it's going to go down to the last game. United currently first, but third favourites to go through.
Well, they need a point to go through, don't they? Because their goal difference would be better than Leipzig.
But I don't know if Leipzig, United play Leipzig, don't they?
Yeah.
But they say Leipzig need a draw, so it might go then head to head.
Oh, is it?
Because Leipzig must have beaten United then, have they?
I don't know.
Oh no, United have lost to Istanbul and Paris Saint-Germain.
So Man United need a point away
to
go through. Paris Saint-Germain will go through because they will beat Istanbul.
Yeah.
And Leipzig need to beat. If Leipzig beat Man United,
So this is where it gets a bit more interesting. So let's hope Paris
Poor
Saint-Germain.
result for Man United last night at home.
Yeah.
Poor result.
I believe a lot of finger being pointed at Fred.
And Solskjaer's lack of substitution against.
Well, a lot of Man United fans have actually turned around and said that Fred should have come off at half time.
Yeah.
But he didn't make that sub, and they could see what was going to happen. Gets his second yellow, and then.
Who's going to win the Champions League then? Come on. Let's put it out there now. Who are you looking at?
I don't think any Spanish clubs. I don't think Barca or.
Do I fancy Fred? I think Chelsea.
No.
I just think they've on a run with that. There we go.
Dortmund have qualified, haven't they? And they've still got
Bayern, you
you can't really look past. Liverpool on the day as the season gets on.
Of course, Virgil will be back from the dead, won't he? Potentially in the new year.
Still no news. No news on that source. Right, we're going to move on to
sports personality. I just really like this show. I know you said right at the top of the show, our show, that for me it was always like the start of Christmas, that Sunday night television. They used to have challenges, but obviously the nature of the programme's changed. It's not as good anymore as an entertainment programme, I don't think, but always nice to look back on the sporting year. I don't know how they're going to do it this year because obviously very little sport taking place, but they have nominated their 6 Sports Person of the Year nominees.
And who are the 6?
So the 6 are Tyson Fury, a little bit more about him in a moment, Holly Doyle.
She the jockey?
The champion jockey, or the jockey that rode, I think it was Cheltenham Glory and Grand National or whatever, but yeah, she was successful. Stuart Broad, who went past 600 Test match wickets in the summer, and was England's Test match player of the summer. Ronnie O'Sullivan, and continues to win. Jordan Henderson, so you can see that we're really plucking at straws there. And then for me, the only winner, Lewis Hamilton.
I was going to say, if you're looking at that list of people and you talk about personalities, Tyson Fury, Ronnie O'Sullivan have personalities.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's called that, but it's not really about that.
No.
Jordan Henderson, I can understand why he's been nominated because Liverpool first league title,
he's captain,
and he's been instrumental and done well for England. So I get, but it's not. You don't usually get many footballers appear on that, do you?
Not outside of a World Cup year or something. So for me, Lewis Hamilton wins that because it's not personality, it's achievement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hands down, we've spoken enough about him.
Well done, Holly.
Brilliant. And I think I read a bit from her saying that hopefully it breaks sort of some of the barriers for female sportsmen and female jockeys, as well as the racing industry, because it kind of has its own little bubble racing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that they're the thing. Tyson Fury has made a statement to say that he would like to be taken off the list because he doesn't need awards to show that he has fans and that he means the world, blah blah blah. But the BBC said no, he's on the list. So Tyson Fury has actually asked his fans not to vote for him. But I wonder whether is it a game that he wants people to vote for him and he wins it. I don't know. But anyway, they're the 6 nominees.
Yeah. I think it'll be close between Lewis. I think Lewis will probably win it. Ronnie's come back and done a little bit, hasn't he? But
nothing really. It's been one of those years. If you're going purely on ability and what people have won, Hamilton is hands down the winner of that. Well, and actually, to be fair, probably Holly Doyle.
Yeah. You're going to say that to break through. So maybe we go Holly second, Lewis first. But tell you what, lead nicely on to Lewis, Hamilton, and F1.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Hamilton's out this weekend's Grand Prix in Bahrain because of COVID. So taking all the precautions and done everything, but still had 2 negative tests and then felt a bit unwell and asked for another one and has proved positive. So what is interesting about that, so he doesn't race, and Russell, the young lad who is a Mercedes driver, has been racing for Williams this season and effectively on like a loan. So they've recalled him off the loan, so he will then race for Mercedes. So he's going to race for 2 different teams in the year.
That's the first time it's ever happened. That
I would have thought so. I knew he'd gone, and I knew that Russell was one of the like Mercedes would pay for the development and things like that. So that would be interesting. It'll also be interesting to see whether all those doubters say, "Oh, look, it's the best car that wins." So on that, Russell will win the Grand Prix, will he not?
Should do. I like the fact that Formula 1 has a law and that's class.
Yeah, so that's good. And then of course you can't finish anything that crash last week, Sebastian Grosjean, how has he walked away from that?
I've not seen the footage. I've seen pictures of it, stills of it.
Incredible.
Is it all down to the fact that technology is so good that it gives them that chance to?
Well, what they were saying was that I think they're still a bit concerned about how the barrier. They're saying that the barrier shouldn't really slice the car like it did still, and I think there's a little bit concerned about how it inflames so quickly. But obviously they've got all the precautions and all the people on the side were there straight away and he got out. But what they were saying is that it was a win particularly for the halo, so you know the thing that sits over the cockpit.
Yeah.
That I think Grosjean himself has said when he first came out he wasn't a fan of. I know that Hamilton was much the same until he saw the presentation by whoever developed it 4 or 5 years ago. He then got on board then, and I know like Eccleston at the time, Burnley Everton was against it because they were saying it goes against, you know, the open air racing kind of thing.
Yeah.
But basically, Grosjean said that saved his life.
Yeah.
I read a quote: "Stared death in the face." He said. I mean, it must have been unbelievably scary. That.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's scary to look back at because it happened so quick. Yeah. You don't actually realise until it's when you reflect.
And all he ended up with was some burnt back of his burnt hands. And he doesn't race this weekend, but they're saying that he could be physically and mentally fit to race in Abu Dhabi next weekend.
Wowzers.
Which is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
But there we go.
Right, we are moving swiftly on to Larkin's Sporting Gibberish Fancy Football Corner. Do you want to start with Larko, or do you want me to go through the league table? Because we've got 2 winners this week.
Yeah, let's do the winners and then we'll start with Larko.
Okay, so we've got the weekly winner, which is the most points scored over the week, which was 75 by Mad Mitch.
Whoa.
So congratulations, Mad Mitch. You won, particularly picking up his points. Fernandez captain, and he had Cavani in there, which picked him up 35 points on its own, and Grealish picked him up a few points as well.
Got a good bench there.
Yeah, so his team: Schmeichel goals, Chilwell, Dyer, Robertson, Grealish, Foden, Fernandes, Harrison, Kane, Cavani, Watkins, and then on his bench he's got Hart, Azlapeca, whatever you call him.
Azpilicueta.
Yeah, that one. Easy.
He's from QPR.
Yeah, and Cancelo. But he'd actually subbed out Cancelo. Thinking, so congratulations, Mad Mitch, which is Neil Mitchell. So you are the winner of the weekly prize. There's a voucher ready for you. You just need to get in contact with us and let us know. And the overall winner for the month by 5 points, I believe, was Ryan Eggar and his team called X-Pack Eggs. And we'll quickly run through his team just to let everybody know. He's got Johnson in goal, Chilwell, Walker, Koch. He's got Aubameyang, Fernandes, Ward-Prowse, Rodriguez, Tillemans, Watkins, Calvert-Lewin, and he's got Wan-Bissaka on the bench, Bamford on the bench, and your man Connor Cody
and Pope.
Yeah.
Good side. He's got them in well.
He's
not really got a massive expense in his front line.
No,
he's most expensive with Aubameyang
and Fernandes, you'd say. But Ward-Prowse was quality against United. But congratulations. So you've won the monthly prize, which is actually a 2-night stay. Is it 2 night stay?
1 night stay.
1 night stay with 20% off.
Yeah.
So get in contact. There is a voucher waiting for you guys. Say this week and week out, if you don't claim your voucher, then you ain't going to win anything. We're not going to come chasing you for it. So maybe we need to put a time limit on people claiming.
We'll just put it back in that.
And then we'll maybe just do like a raffle draw at Christmas.
Something like that. Because we like to give away. Anyway, should we see what he's got to say?
We'll do Larkins and then we'll do cup draw.
Okay.
Hi lads, good to be back again with what was, I suppose, a controversial week of football, which I'm going to get into later. If the sound quality is a bit poor, I apologise. I'm currently sat in Larko's Tactics truck in a car park. Some might say it's where I do my best work, about to escape the house. Woke up this morning, Mike Phelan was talking something about a Christmas tree. I thought, brilliant. I've been thinking about playing 5 at the back. Little did I know she was actually wanting us to get the Christmas tree up. And as I'm sure you'll all agree, can often get a bit heated in terms of discussions and stuff when that's going up. So I thought, take some time, get in the Tactics truck. That's where you do your best work, Larko. So, on to some of these football issues. And Stuart, I'll be interested to see what you think of this, being a staunch Red yourself. Obviously, in the week, Jurgen Klopp got on camera, essentially blaming BT Sport for Milner's hamstring or all the injuries are having. Now, me and the rest of the lads are in the Mark Pugach Appreciation Society saw that as a direct indictment and attack on him, the Pug. You've got to be better than that, Jurgen. The Pug, he's a man, he's the GOAT, he's one of the best to ever do it. He took the Dark Destroyer all the way to £84,000 on the chase. You tell me another pundit that's done that. Okay, Jurgen, you've got to be better than that. But that being said, Liverpool's injury woes, right, take me to my selections for the week. Now, I think there's a bit of value to be had in Williams and Phillips at the back for them. 3.9 million, 4 million apiece. I think likely to get started in the next few weeks. Could be guaranteed a clean sheet. Possible 6-pointer there at the back. Also, have a look at Southampton. Got a good run of 3 games coming up. Get some of their players in. Got to be worth it. I put Bednarik at the back this week. Solid unit. Going to lead from the back. Going to get the job done. So they're my tips for the week, lads. And just on the final note, just one more message direct to Klopp. Think twice before you come at the Pug again. All right? Stay humble, lads. See you soon.
Oh dear, I think Jurgen will be quivering in his boots right now.
Larks, he's after him.
Yeah, and they're going to run him down his tactics truck. You talking about tactics trucks? You like drive like a Mini or something?
No, he's got one of those, the hire car. What are they? The first one didn't even have power steering.
Oh dear, no wonder his arms are so big.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. Thanks very much, Larks. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Interesting. So we talked about it. And dead bizarrely is that when he talks about Williams and Phillips, he plays Williams Champions League and Phillips plays Premiership. So if you are looking, Phillips is your better bet for Premiership.
Does he mean Nico Williams? I've got him on his bench and he played, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if he's on about centre halves.
Oh, the other fella, yeah.
Yeah, so have a look at that because Nico Williams, yes, he will play, but Williams, the young centre half, Reece Williams, he'll be benched because he plays Champions League.
It's tricky with some of the bigger squads and ones that are playing that alternate one because I've had to make some changes. I had a poor week this week, made some changes, and from seeing now, this is your team in front of us.
It is, yeah.
So I've had Foden in from the start because I thought, the noise that Guardiola was making, you know, he's the next David Silva. That's why, as much as we don't want to lose David, I'm okay because I've got. And so I mean, he's quite cheap, 6 million or 6.5 million or whatever. He's hardly played it.
Yeah, he's
frustrating.
Again, he plays him in the Champions League games and kind of leaves him out of the Premiership ones. But I took Ward-Prowse in because Larko is right. I had a little look. Southampton got 3 nice games coming up, including Brighton coming up. And Ward-Prowse, free kick taker, takes corners. And I went Mane captain, thinking Mane's not scored in a while. Blah blah blah. And they put him on the bench. And I was like, what? But I've gone with Salah as my captain this week. But interesting, we had a discussion last night. So we have 116 people in the league. So we decided we're going to do a cup draw. So just to give you an overview of the cup draw, there's going to be a prelim round, a first round, and then everybody qualifies after the first round. It's going to go into a Champions League style competition where you'll be put in a group of 4. You'll all play each other once, and then the top 2 from the group will then qualify out. But interesting is we are going to attempt this live, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're going to go. We spoke to our friends at the Radisson Red here in Dubai, Silicon Oasis. So we're going to pick a date. It'll probably be in the new year now, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Early in the new year, we're going to pick a date so anybody in Dubai can get along, come and watch it. We're going to do it live there, but we're also going to broadcast it live over on our Facebook page.
Yeah, I was thinking if we get Larkin,
Facebook or YouTube or something. Yeah, we're going to invite.
I think we get Larkin to it. I think Larkin, if you ever remember Rod Stewart when he was hammered. That's what I want Larkin to be like.
Yeah. So we might have a bit of a live feed from the Valley Red. We're going to put it on Facebook or maybe YouTube or both. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
figure that out.
Probably go live on everything.
And then draw it, and then and we'll have Larkin drawing one set of balls, and don't know, we'll invite somebody else.
Yeah,
maybe Stu Burt from the Valley Red. Or,
possibly, yeah.
So look out for that in the new year, but that'll be good.
But before
and some good prizes for that, isn't
there? Yeah, really good prizes. But before we go, people at home will be watching this on YouTube and noticing something slightly different. We have lost our furry upper lip. Good news, it was all done for his mental awareness. On the side of it, myself, Jack, Matt and Chris Mulgrew, we managed to raise over $1,400, so it goes to charity. So thank you for everybody back home for supporting that. In Dubai, it was just a case of raising awareness and seeing the importance of mental health, especially with men. It's okay to talk.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I think that's us for another show.
Done. You're out Christmas Day tonight with the football on?
Yeah, we'll be planning it should be quite a light one because we're talking tactics about next week's fixture.
What? Oh dear. Well, the popcorn.
Popcorn.
Straight away with the popcorn. Yeah, you're going out on that. I'm putting the barbecue on. Larkin's coming out for barbecue.
Awesome.
So we'll see what insights he gives me.
Brilliant.
As always, though, fellas and gentlemen, ladies, boys and girls out there.
What do we know?